guys? What is going on? My name is Joe, aka Cap.
I'm Dom, not Mysterio.
Got Dash.
I'm Francis.
And this is The Push. Folks, this is our last episode of 2024, where on this episode we will be talking about our top 5 moments of professional wrestling in 2024. And since it is our top 5, we needed a 5th guy to be on the show. Introduce yourself, my man.
Hey guys, it is Citizen Zero, but most people call me Chris. I've been friends with all these idiots for too damn long, and
You're welcome.
I've decided that I figured I'd hop around and talk some top 5 moments because I've been watching all year and I have my opinions.
Question.
Also, don't mind me. I just got out of work, so I'm eating dinner.
I have a quick question. So, if we have a 4 horseman dynamic, does that make Chris our Brian Pillman?
Hey, look, we're down to 4 again.
And he's gone, ladies and gentlemen.
Legitimate question.
That's often on our stream. That is often our stream.
How did I know? I don't know how I knew you were gonna get kicked before it happened. Like, you didn't even open your mouth. I'm like, God, he's gonna. I just feel. Okay. I sensed you saying something stupid.
Ready? Scott. You know how you knew? Because A, it's Francis. It happens every fucking week at this point. And B, Cap made the horrible mistake of putting me in charge of you idiots.
It wasn't a horrible mistake. It was
for the most part. He gave me too much power.
You were literally the best option.
You don't understand.
That's scary. That's
a little scary.
You were literally our best option because, anyway, yeah, Chris, we are super excited to have you on the show. I think it's going to be a fun one. It's definitely, we're going to have a fun time tonight. Happy holidays, by the way, guys. Happy holidays to everybody watching the stream. Hope you guys are going to be having a happy new year. As you can see, I'm not in my usual location. I am away for New Year's Eve with my girlfriend. So, yeah,
I want to apologize to the audience now. I am a serial mic adjuster. I'm going to adjust my mic 30,000 times through this entire show.
Oh, that's completely
It's going to happen. Just be ready for it.
Dude, you're good. You know how many times I punch my microphone every stream?
So, one thing, before we get started, we do need to quickly acknowledge this. Gentlemen, tonight it is the end of an era. Yes, we acknowledge. We do need to acknowledge the fact that tonight is going to be the end of an era. Tonight is the last Monday Night Raw on USA Network. I believe it's the last one after, God, how many years now? Like
at least 30
years?
30. Probably longer, I want to say.
It was 32 years.
32 consecutive years of being on USA Network, ignoring the short stint on Spike TV.
Oh, Dios mío.
Tonight will be their last episode on USA. They are moving to Netflix starting next week. So, yeah, just wanted to quickly mention that. Kind of sad to see, to be honest with you, but also...
I'm excited. That means I could finally watch Raw live again.
Same.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
True. Anyway, we are going to get into our top 5 a little bit later on, but first we got a couple of stories going on. Scott, what's going on in the wrestling world?
All right. The first one I'll mention is I saw a rumor, and I love rumors, so great to mention it during the live. Apparently, there's rumors of a third 2-night event, as which we already know SummerSlam's going to get one, and we've been having WrestleMania. And the next rumor one is Money in the Bank.
Really?
Getting a 2-night event.
Wow. I was expecting you to say the Royal Rumble.
Same, that's what I was going to say. I thought it was going to be another one of the big 4.
Although,
that one threw me off guard. Yeah, that one threw me off guard when I went to go view it. I kind of don't like the idea. I don't feel like the Money in the Bank's that big of a pay-per-view that it needs to have 2 nights.
Well, okay. So let's put it this way: like, just thinking in the way that Money in the Bank is structured, it's similar to the Rumble, I guess, in a way. Is it's the men's and the women's
Yeah.
kind of
Correct.
have their big moments in it. So I think a 2-night stint of Money in the Bank could work because, man, I love Money in the Bank, but I get graded by the end of
Yeah.
that pay-per-view. I am tired.
Not even that, especially that they're going into, we're coming out of an era where we had pay-per-views that were way too long. Like we look back at WrestleMania 2019. I forget which number that was.
Oh my god.
But
Yeah,
what was it?
35.
Fucking 8 hours.
Yeah,
brutal.
I was
Of
in the crowd for
nonstop
that, and
wrestling.
by the end of it, I wanted to die.
Exactly. But that's what I'm
Who
saying. It's exhausting. So it's like you're coming out of that, and like WrestleMania proved the 2-night events work. Everyone likes it. It works. And they're making way more money. They're basically doubling their money for one pay per view.
Profits.
Yeah.
So,
and then again, and it's like you look at Money in the Bank, right? Like last year, when you have the 2 ladder matches bookending the show. Same thing with the Royal Rumble. It's they're bookending the show, so it's like you're cutting out a lot of time. Because the ladder matches are at least an hour long.
Yeah, they're
Typically, because just like the Rumble, they're almost each an hour long.
40
Well,
to 50 normally.
Yeah.
Well, also on top of that, you're also getting rid of if we're to believe this rumor and we're going to continue down this logic that the ladder matches are going to bookend the show, they're going to be the main events of the 2 nights. Then you're also eliminating what I consider to be a very annoying part. It hasn't always worked for me. I haven't always really liked it. You're eliminating the same night cash-in.
Yeah, because then you can have yes, because you look at Money in the Bank as it stands right now, right? Money in the Bank, typically the women's ladder match opens the show.
Yeah,
I think every Miss Money in the Bank, short of Carmella, cashed in the same night. And Asuka didn't cash in the same night.
Yeah, I was just about to bring up Asuka.
Yeah, I think
and
a lot of
Tiffany.
Because when Asuka won, it was like the weird year where they did both ladder matches at the same time.
There have been a couple. Io waited, Carmella waited, Asuka.
Right. Yeah, but Liv cashed in immediately.
And Tiffany,
And Tiffany's holding it. But it's just, I feel like Cap said, having 2 nights, that the ladder match is going to be the last match of the night.
Yeah.
Right? So that eliminates the concept of the same night cash-in, which I think at this point has been overdone.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I like it. Don't get me wrong. I like it if it works. But, like, it's become very predictable at this point. Like, when Liv Morgan did it, everyone saw it coming a million miles away.
Yeah, I
Did you
think
see
I
it
think
coming when Drew did?
Huh?
Did you see it coming when Drew did it? When Drew did
This year.
Has Money in the Bank.
I mean, it was less predictable.
Yeah,
I was shocked that they. I don't want to say shocked. I wasn't shocked that they did it, but I was mildly surprised, I guess is the right way to put it.
Drew was like a better same night cash in because
exactly
because quite as expected.
Because he's someone that could hold it for a little while.
Right. But I think if they do decide to do a Money in the Bank 2 nights, I think more so than the Rumble, the Money in the Bank being the ladder match being the Royal Rumble is always, I think you can get away with doing 2 of those in one night because there's so much movement, there's so much in and out.
Oh yeah, because there's a lot happening.
Exactly, but I think after a while those ladder matches get to be a lot, so I think breaking those up into 2 nights actually makes more sense than some other pay-per-views and that you would break up into 2 nights.
Yeah, my only thing when having the 2 gimmick matches, men's and women's of the same gimmick in the same night, is you get a lot of similar spots.
Yeah,
which is why I think it's better that they break it up, because at least it gives you You'd be like, okay, wow, the women's Money in the Bank ladder match was fucking awesome. Last night. Let's see what the men can do. Like, it gives you time to really digest what the fuck you just watched.
Yeah,
and they
absolutely.
plan spots out more.
Exactly, because then the men can sit there and be like, oh shit, they did that and that worked out really well. But like, we can't do that because they did it. It's like,
I don't think the Rumble. I don't think the Rumble necessarily needs that. Just bringing in the idea of like pay-per-views becoming 2-night things, like because again the Rumbles have so much movement to them. There's so much in and out. There's so much momentum going in with the Rumble that like with this year's with R-Truth running in on the women's, like I don't think would not have worked so well if it was a 2-night pay-per-view.
No, see, but that's the thing with R-Truth. It doesn't matter.
I mean, R-Truth is always unpredictable. It doesn't really matter. But my point stands.
Like, R-Truth could show up in TNA and no one would be shocked. Everyone would be like, Truth.
Ron the Truth.
But I think my point stands of it being the same night makes that joke funnier.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
It's not as grating as the double ladder match bookending a show.
Mm-hmm.
That gets to be a lot, and you watch a lot of the same stuff, and then you have to watch all the matches in between, and then by the time you get to the last ladder match, you're like, I can't even
see. But that's the thing. That's the thing with the bookending ladder matches is like. Sorry to cut you off, Scott. 1 second. But when you have those ladder matches, right? You have women's ladder match, maybe 2 or 3 matches that most people really don't give a fuck about. Not that they don't give a fuck about them, but you get my point. Like, everyone's watching these pay-per-views for the gimmick match.
Yeah.
So it's like, and again, it's become the point of whichever ladder match is first, you expect that person to cash in that night.
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, well, if the men's ladder match is last, they're not going to cash in. Whoever wins that one isn't going to cash in that night because Cody is defending the title before that ladder match even happens. That takes out that element of surprise. So it was like, I'm not saying we need the same night cash-ins. Like, they're fun, but they've become too predictable.
I mean, it makes sense not having the Royal Rumble for 2 nights because because of the Royal Rumbles, you really put a lack of title defenses because mid-card titles are more emphasized into having them in there.
Having them in the match.
Of maybe they can win, maybe they can have 2 titles in. But I don't know. I can't think of it right now because I can't think of all the pay-per-views, but I'm sure there could have been something better than Money in the Bank because I mean, even though it's evolved over the time, because at first it came as a WrestleMania opener, and then it went into its own pay-per-view, and then the pay-per-views were kind of bombing for a bit. Like, the pay-per-views themselves are boring, but the people with the briefcase, they do a good job throughout the time frame of the briefcase. But
no, they've definitely gotten better as time went on. And again, to sing the praises of Triple H, I think he's done a great job with what he's booked.
Well, to be honest with you, and I'm gonna pose this question because we do have other topics to move on, but I do want to pose this question to you guys. There's sort of like an understanding that there's a big 4 when it comes to pay-per-views for WWE specifically.
Yep.
The Rumble, Survivor Series, SummerSlam, Mania. Do we feel, thanks to some of the more improved quality of the pay-per-view, the fact that you have, people like John Cena who have, in the past 2 years, number one, announced his retirement at the last one, and the one before that advocated for WrestleMania to go to London. He did that at the London Money in the Bank.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Do we feel like perhaps WWE is trying to push, not for it to replace the Big 4, but for it to be number 5 on the list of pay-per-view?
Absolutely.
The only reason one would not consider Money in the Bank already number 5 is because the other 4 were created in the 80s when the company really started to pick up steam.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you know what? I would say, because I feel like when Money in the Bank first became its own pay-per-view, it first became a gimmick pay-per-view, it was very much a B pay-per-view. It wasn't like, they didn't treat it like the Big 4.
Yeah.
It didn't have the same production quality. It didn't have the same care. or like the gravitas to it. But until recent years, it got a spike of it for a while because and ladder matches are always fun to watch. Like they're
Mhm.
you
Absolutely.
it's hard to find for me. It's hard to find a ladder match I don't like.
Mhm.
Ironically enough, the only one I really didn't like was the COVID one. Like I said, when they did the men's and women's Money in the
Hey,
Bank ladder match.
when Baron Corbin threw Rey Mysterio off a building.
And killed a man.
I mean, I thought that was a cool spot, and I did like some of the shenanigans that the superstars got into, like running around headquarters and everything. I thought that was funny, but like it didn't feel like a ladder match to me until the last 5 minutes of it.
Yeah,
I
no.
just can't get over when AJ Styles and I forgot the other wrestler just barged into Vince McMahon's office.
Oh my
And
god!
then
Wait,
they
was it
they
Sami
both
Zayn?
stopped. I forgot who the other person was, but they both stopped going at each other. Like they were going in heat. Like from most of it, they were going at each other, and then they hit into Vince McMahon's building, and it was just so funny.
Yeah, that was a funny spot. That was a funny spot.
Yeah, I think that was Sami Zayn, I want to say.
Yeah.
No, I think it was Daniel. Was
it Daniel Bryan?
Was
Daniel
it
Bryan Danielson?
Yeah,
I think it was the one. It was the one with Otis won it. I know that one for sure.
There is a gap in knowledge that I have, and we are sitting firmly in that.
Right
gap.
in the middle of it.
Oh, right.
We're speaking foreign language to Chris right now.
Yeah, there's a 4-year gap where I didn't really get the chance to watch wrestling because I was doing school. and COVID is like
right there
when I had stopped watching.
Yeah, no, I don't.
COVID wrestling was painful.
Yeah, it was tough.
Realistically speaking,
Yeah,
you
I
didn't
didn't
get much.
Yeah, really. But anyway, back to my point. If Survivor Series didn't become War Games, the pay-per-view, I would say I would advocate for Money in the Bank to replace Survivor Series as a Big Four.
That's
Only because I feel like Survivor Series got very, I don't want to say boring, but it was like it got stale over time. Yeah, exactly. That was a great.
They just got rid of the concept of Survivor Series, and that is the brand war.
Exactly,
and they got rid of it, and now it's just not the same.
But that's my point.
The elimination match.
Yeah, because they stopped doing the elimination match, and like it doesn't help that there's like barely a brand split as it is. Like the only brand split is between NXT and the main roster at this point.
That's true.
Yeah.
And like they keep saying, "Oh, there's a brand split." I'm like, then why do people from Raw keep showing up on SmackDown?
Just looking over to chat real quick, which I'm agreeing with is Money in the Bank has become more of a big deal because the matches that they're doing in between now are less gimmicky. And it's more of a showcase of older and new talent kind of fusing into this one thing, which I really do agree with. That's a great point.
Thank you, Ash. That's a great point.
That's a very good point.
Money in the Bank has become less gimmicky outside of the actual Money
Gimmick
in the
itself,
Bank matches.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Which is great. Which is exactly what it needs. It doesn't. We don't need more gimmicks within the gimmick.
No, we don't. All right, so seems like we're all in agreement on this one. Money in the Bank becoming 2 nights. It's definitely interesting. So we will see. All right, Scott, I believe you had one more topic for us before.
All right, this is a 2-parter topic, and this one I saw this last year. I don't know if we talked about it last year, but this was good. I'll start with the losses
last year,
and these will be the 2 questions I have when I announce these. Are you surprised with anybody on the list? And 2, who do you think will not be on the list coming in 2025? So
are we talking about people who are leaving WWE or left WWE?
No, these are the top 4 most losses in WWE.
Oh, okay. Like win-loss record. Okay.
Yeah. So at it's kind of surprising too because 3, you're really going to be surprised.
Also,
with the losses.
To go off what you just said, I don't believe we did this last year. So
we didn't.
We didn't have a podcast last year. So.
Well, you know what I mean, and like our first episode.
So at number 4, we have Finn Balor with 49 losses.
Wow.
At number 3, we have JD McDonough at 50 losses.
JD McDonough.
In In second and tied with that is Dominic Mysterio with 50 losses.
That is most of the Judgment
Is it the
Day.
entirety of Judgment Day?
No.
Oh, okay.
Carlito don't do anything to get on this list.
Yeah, Carlito wrestled like maybe 3 times.
Yeah, true.
And number one, and this is the one that surprised me the most. Shinsuke Nakamura with 52 at number one.
Well, this is
I'm not
before he
surprised
came
about
back
Oh,
as the
yeah,
Yakuza
yeah.
villain, right?
Yeah, because he had that feud with Seth and
And
everything.
now he's
Yeah, I honestly kind of forgot how much Shinsuke had been losing this year.
Yeah.
Actually, let me ask you, what is this new gimmick that he's doing now?
We told you. He's a
Anime.
Yakuza character.
I was gonna say anime Yakuza villain.
I mean, pretty much.
He's the dark, edgy Asian. This is the final gimmick of all Asian characters, Cap. We've talked about this.
Yeah.
If this doesn't succeed, he goes somewhere else.
If this doesn't succeed, I wouldn't be shocked if he goes back to New Japan.
Yeah,
I mean, they're doing pretty good. No, Scott, remember,
They're
he's a
doing
Bleach
very
character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
he might
But
as
yeah,
well be.
Yeah.
It kind of makes sense for 3 out of the 4 members of the Judgment Day to be in there.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing, though.
Most
A lot of
losses
them
don't necessarily mean something bad. I don't think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and not even that. Most of those losses came in tandem with one of the or the other because of tag team matches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, 100%.
but
Well, I mean,
I definitely.
feel not shocked at most of those. Shinsuke gets
Yeah.
a little shocked.
Shinsuke
That's a little
surprised
surprising.
me, honestly.
Yeah.
But
Is this
like,
only
yeah,
counting televised, or is this counting like house shows too?
I would say house shows as well because 52
Is that-
seems
no,
a
that
lot,
number's
especially
kinda
for
high.
Yeah.
especially
For-
for Shinsuke
for something that's
who's
on-
been hurt.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
has
like
that has
most
to
of the year.
yeah that has to be
That's gotta be
including house
Because there's
shows.
52 weeks in a year.
Yeah, and so that's only 52 episodes of Raw or SmackDown.
Yeah,
No, it's
and
not
Shinsuke was hurt. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah. But wow, that's surprising, man. That Shinsuke is surprising me.
Yeah, because
Judgment
Shinsuke's
Day,
been out
we watch
on the shelf for a
lose
while.
pretty much like every fucking week anyway.
Exclusively, yeah.
yeah. The Judgment Day storyline has been, I don't know, it's been so well. I've just ignored the fact that they're all just really bad right now, and now none of them can get a win. And shocking to know that they had the tag titles for most of the year, and they still lost all those matches.
Yeah.
Also, to
They
go
had
with
the
chat
tag
here,
titles for
Ash,
how
I
many
agree.
years?
I don't recall Shinsuke wrestling that many times either.
No, I can think of 3 matches that he's been in.
Yeah.
Maybe.
And most of them were against either Seth Rollins or LA Knight.
Yeah.
I think 2 of them were Seth Rollins and 1 of them was LA Knight. Those are the matches I can think of. With Shinsuke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He dominated that.
But yeah,
It's definitely
All right.
interesting. I don't think it necessarily means anything bad for any of these people.
Oh,
I think it
absolutely
means.
not.
Oh, speaking of Judgment Day,
But, you know,
slight topic change. I don't know if any of you saw Raw or anything on social media about Raw from tonight, but Judgment Day has new music.
Neat.
they got rid of Ultra Bridge.
Yeah,
Is it
Oh, that's-
another motionless? No, they can't because
I'm-
Rhea's not in the group anymore.
yeah. I didn't get to really listen to it because I was at work and I just saw it on TikTok very briefly.
Here.
But I just thought it was interesting.
That's fast.
Well,
Yeah,
I
didn't get much
because I
up
feel
on
like
that
their theme music was like the best part about them at this point, but then again, I'm biased. I like Alter Bridge, so
Yeah.
We all like
I mean,
Alter
Bridge
Bridge.
is great. So I mean, how could you
so,
not?
like, I'm biased, but whatever.
All right. What are those top 5 wins? Because now
Top
you got
5
me curious.
wins?
Now I'm thinking. Yeah.
I think I know.
Probably
so yeah.
One's got to be Cody up there somewhere.
This
It's
this
Roman or
one's
Cody.
this one's not going to be. This is a little less shot. There's probably no shocking ones on here, but number 4 with 51 wins is Jey Uso.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
With 54 wins, we got LA Knight in third.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At number 2, we got Bianca Belair with 61 wins.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Mhm.
close.
And to no surprise here, completely blowing out Bianca Belair in second is Cody Rhodes with 94.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's definitely including house
Yeah.
shows.
Yeah.
That has to be including house
There's
shows.
no way in hell this man. I didn't even think this man fought 94 matches. Jesus Christ.
I mean, listen,
Yeah.
when you get house shows and when you get into all that stuff, like, yeah, I mean, numbers are gonna look crazy
Yeah.
because how many times are they wrestling a week? Who's doing what?
Yeah, exactly.
And Cody, and also Cody just as a person loves doing those house shows.
I was gonna say Cody loves doing that because he gets to interact with the fans more.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That is
I mean,
crazy.
I don't.
94. That is a lot. That is insane. That is a
I
crazy
will-
number.
I will say this. I do believe by the end of 2025, Cody Rhodes might be the only person on this that might still be on this list, because there's going to be a feud with Bianca Belair and
Jade.
whatever her name is when she comes back from injury, Jade Cargill.
Mhm.
Jay Uso, I just feel like he's just going to have a dud year because they pretty much squeezed as much as they can out of that boring character.
Yeah, but he's got his
And-
feud with the Bloodline, so that'll keep him
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
And
in
LA
a thing
Knight-
currently.
LA Knight, I just don't know what they're going to do with it.
going. Yeah, now that
Honestly.
he lost the U.S. Championship, I don't know where he goes from here.
I don't know.
I mean,
But
there's-
yes,
like,
Ash, I
he
agree.
goes
Cody.
to the upper-
Cody is very much a workhorse.
I mean, absolutely. The dude is relentless when it comes
I'm going to be honest with you. I can see LA moving to the main event spot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't see
Perhaps-
No,
Maybe have him go to
absolutely,
Raw.
without a doubt. But
Perhaps
which
it's my
title?
bias talking, but
Gunther.
like,
Yeah, shoot him for
I
the
don't
IC.
see any reason in the world why this man can't go to Raw and win and
Face
Like
off against Gunther.
see no reason at all why he can't do that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. I agree
It's
wholeheartedly.
definitely going to be a little while because, dear God, that Survivor Series match with Shinsuke,
Yeah.
that was painful. But
Yeah, I mean, listen, every match can't be a fucking winner. You know?
Yeah, right.
no,
Yeah.
it was painful.
No, I mean it was a good match, but it was just fucking
Yeah, but it was.
it was a
Shinsuke
good match. But
Yeah.
like,
bait practically
I don't mean winner
fucking
in like.
stole his lunch money.
Yeah, I mean winner in terms of like we can't have everything be like a clean
Oh yeah,
fight through. Like
No.
something's got to be a blowout.
you
And
need
I'm
squash
not-
matches every now and then.
I'm also now just
Yeah,
imagining Shinsuke just walking up to LA like, "Give me your money,
Punch.
give me your money, nerd."
Dork.
Dork.
But
Oh,
all right,
God.
do you want to stop with these?
Yeah.
Yes,
Start with these top 5.
yes. Let us
Yes.
do. All right,
All right, let me pull up my list real quick.
and everyone in between.
Mhm.
It is now time for each of our top fives.
I got my list ready too.
24.
Oh my god.
What the hell was that?
What do
What
you
was
have
that?
your list propped up on there, bud?
What?
A book about knives. Don't
Did you
question.
write it on the magazine?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Bro, you
No,
play
no,
D&D.
Tom, I would
You don't
tell you
have
to
a blank
do it. I don't
character
wanna
sheet
do
or
it.
something to
No,
use?
no. The paper is
No, he has a book where he writes down our wins and check marks of all the pay-per-views. Why didn't he use that?
no. I took a piece of paper from that. There is paper on the magazine.
All right,
That's
I'm
what I
gonna
meant.
Alright.
super unoriginal. I just put it on notes in my phone.
Same.
That's what I did, yeah.
Have it on
Oh,
my
yeah.
computer.
Go.
Oh, yeah, I guess
Technology.
you could do that, huh?
Yeah, we do have phone fans.
Hey, get out of the past, Grandpa.
We're not
Fucking-
cavemen.
Fucking pen and paper having ass
No.
bitch.
Technology.
I just have it on my fucking screen here.
All right, Mr. 3 Monitors, calm
All right,
down.
Mr. 3 Monitors over here.
Mr. I'm a professional streamer.
Look at you with your professional streaming and your
Which
Twitch.
you can find them on Twitch.
Nice plug.
They are on Twitch. Yep.
Nice plug,
It's
I wanna
Scott.
almost
hurt
like
him.
you're telling
It,
people that
it
they
hurts.
should
It
go
hurts me
watch
to do that, but I have to do it. Like it hurts me.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
almost like
I'm gonna hurt him.
people that they should be going on Twitch and watching Citizen Zero stream.
I already did the
Also
bit. I'm
maybe
not
check
doing
out-
it again.
And also maybe check out his TikTok while you're at it.
Hey,
You know,
Put
like
the
your
Twitch
blog.
link in chat. There you go.
TikTok, but
Yeah.
like,
there you go. Twitch links in the chat.
yeah,
Check out the
Yeah.
TikTok. You can find it through the Twitch.
yeah,
I
check
put
out his
content on
TikTok.
there occasionally.
You should also
Yeah.
be checking out the Push on TikTok as well, at the Push Wrestling.
Nice plug.
There it is.
That's right, boy. You thought
right.
you were safe?
I'm seriously considering doubling your punishment for tomorrow.
Oh, is it official? Did you lose?
Did he officially?
Yeah.
lose?
It's. I didn't look.
Yeah.
I got to look into it, but he was losing by 11 when we last saw.
Actually, come to think of it, did I win?
No.
Yes, you won.
Holy
Oh.
crap, I won.
Fuck
Yeah,
you.
you
Did
won.
you
What-
fucking you won fucking back to
He
back?
won
I won
football.
fantasy.
Is
No,
that
he didn't win
back-to-back?
that. Wait.
No, yeah, he won last season, didn't you?
I did.
Don't worry, I'm going.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the third season, I think. Yeah.
God damn.
I'm going to check my fantasy. Don't worry about it, guys.
Oh, that's crazy. Oh, that's awesome.
Well, because you're.
Well,
big
Chris,
man
what
on
matters is that
campus-
you're not in dead last.
That is true.
Well, seeing as how Cap is big man on campus, you start off. You give us your top 5.
All right, well, here's how it's
Well,
going to
we'll start with number 5.
Yeah, we're going to start off. We're going to go with our number 5. No, we're going to say our number 5, and we're going to go around the room.
Oh God, it tastes like
And,
orange soda and
you know,
pepperoni.
each one's going to say their top 5.
Yeah.
We're going to do this with each number. So you're only going to give your number 5 when I call on you. Francis, you get that?
Yes, it's get that. My name is don't I drink all the
Please
fucking
do not do that
Fanta.
on Twitch, you jackass! What
Please do not do that on Twitch, Francis.
the
My
hell
name is
up.
not the name Francis.
the hell up, Francis?
Dom.
I could do it right now.
No, don't do it. 'cause
Dom.
we'll look up my Wi-Fi again, and we got to go through that whole cycle again.
Would you rather I made you British?
I'd rather you shut up and let me start.
Hi.
All right, here we
You give me a
go.
headache. I hope you know that.
Our top. So here we go, folks. Our top 5, 2024. I'm gonna get it started with my number 5 moment, and this might be a bit of a shocker for some guys. For some of you, I don't know, but if you know how I feel about this particular wrestler, I think you'll start. I think you might agree with me. I'm gonna take it back to talk about Bronson Reed. The 6 tsunamis on Seth Rollins.
You want to laugh? That's my number 5 also.
Get the hell out.
Super.
Yeah.
Yo, what? That's crazy.
No.
I'm gonna have that.
But yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
my number
wait,
5
hold on.
moment is the 6 tsunamis.
I don't want to give away my other stuff, but
Scott, I think especially you're going to agree with me on this because you two have been begging for a true monster. Oh my God, yeah, there it was.
Bronson Reed's Tsunami Rampage.
But anyway,
Yeah.
Scott, I think especially will agree with you and I have both been begging for a true monster on the roster again. And Bronson Reed, I think, is filling that role very well.
Yeah,
I
until he
think-
fucking broke both his ankles.
Until he broke his ankle. But, that's not here nor there.
No, not ankles. He broke both his
Yeah,
fucking
broke both of
ankles.
them. Yes, the man's not walking at all right now. No, that's not true. I hope he is getting better. We do hope you're getting better, Bronson.
No, absolutely. I'm not no ill
No
will, but I'm just saying my
Oh my
dude
God.
decided to land on his feet from the
Yeah,
top of the
that's
cage.
a lot this year.
He literally hurt himself the same way Edge did.
Yeah, the fact that it
Uh,
twice is insane.
If I had a nickel for every time,
Yeah,
You know,
I
I
have
really-
two nickels.
But
I
It's
don't,
weird.
I don't want to bust into the
It's not a
Doofenshmirtz
lot,
voice
but
on
it's
stream.
astounding that it happened.
Which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice.
I don't know. I'll say this. I'll say this to you guys. Even though Bronson Reed's moment was transcending and a great as in the top 5 for all wrestling. I wouldn't put it up. I wouldn't put it up there, but it was an amazing moment. Definitely got me hooked
I'm
onto his
saying
character.
this specifically because that is the moment where you can, there's so many moments where when you look at a wrestler, you can pinpoint the moment they became a star. And I genuinely
Yeah.
believe when he splashed Seth Rollins 6 times, when he tsunamied Seth Rollins 6 times, we witnessed that night the birth of a star.
No, 100%.
Yeah, no, definitely. That we
That
definitely.
was his.
Homeboy pulled up to the function dressed in an MF Doom singlet and turned himself into a human action bomb. Man's a legend.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. But yeah, hands down, Bronson Reed 6 tsunamis is my number 5 moment for 2024. Chris, your number 5 moment, please.
I just gotta say, in response to just making the list, I think this was because I've done this a few times with just some friends over the years of like top moments of the year. I think this was the easiest one that I've ever made. I literally banged this out in like 5 minutes. I was able to just like, yep, these are absolutely my top moments.
Thank you for telling us how much effort you put into coming onto the show tonight.
You're welcome. It would have been nice if I found out more than a day ago.
About 5 minutes of prep time.
I had about 5 minutes of time in between working.
Sorry, Chris, before you mention your top 5, Cat Francis, I think the 3 of us need to shun Dom for not telling Chris a week ago like he should have.
He knew.
So,
let's be honest. It's shared blame among all 4 of us, realistically.
Yeah, but
true.
acting like you don't have a fucking phone and talk to him every week.
Yeah,
you guys fucking work at the same job. What's your excuse?
When I got the message that saying, "Oh, I'll tell Chris tomorrow," I honestly thought you already fucking told him.
Yeah.
Anyway, but anyway, this was an easy list for me because this was a great year of wrestling. But there was just absolute standout moments for me. My number 5 being Jade Cargill arriving. Holy crap! I was so fucking pumped. I love Cargill in AEW. Absolutely. I'm not even gonna fucking lie, but no, I really do just.
He's honest.
Yeah.
I just loved the way that she worked in AEW, and when she showed up, I was so fucking excited. That was easily one of the best moments of the year.
Fair enough.
Her it was fucking absolutely blowing up half the Rumble.
Can I ask you a question?
It was especially great. Sorry, Kat, but it was especially great because it was kind of the most obvious switch from brand to brand that whole year. And then when she popped up, we still got hyped. The only disappointing thing is that they put it as a tag team.
Right, exactly. Honorable mention being Andrade also showing up during that same night. Also, I like him. I enjoy the work he does. I was excited.
I do too, but dude, if it was any quieter, you could hear him fucking fart.
And I was sad about that because I got excited. That's why it's like my honorable mention of like,
that's fair.
Hey, it's cool. I'm happy it happened. I know everybody's not like as blown up about it as Cargill was. So, Kat, what was your question?
My question is very simple. How have you felt about the follow-up after that? Because I completely agree with you. I was absolutely ecstatic over the fact that Jade showed up at the Rumble. I said it a million times on the podcast, and I will keep saying it going into next year. Jade Cargill has star written all over her. Mm-hmm. But I want to get your opinion. Where you?
I'm kind of at a crossroad. No pun intended. A little bit of a crossroads. Where like I love some of the stuff that's happened. I genuinely think that her tag team with Bianca was just really fun and great in the beginning. Because it was just this kind of 2 monstrous duo of we're just gonna go in there and squash and destroy, and that was fun for a few matches, and then it kind of got old, and then after that they kind of just
fizzled.
Which was a shame because I really think that they could have done a lot more.
Yeah.
But like it started so strong, and it's hard to keep that kind of momentum. So I can't say that I'm disappointed. More just like understanding of like we're just trying to find a spot for them now after this whole we're gonna just ruin the whole women's division by absolutely destroying everybody. You know?
Yeah, I get it. I understand.
I think
sitting in this weird spot.
I honestly think they should have pulled the trigger on the feud way sooner. But if it doesn't start when Jade comes back from injury, I'll be a little upset. I'm not gonna lie.
There's also rumors
into just being disappointed and being like,
yeah,
you had so much potential. That's why I'm like with the injury and just there's just a lot that kind of happened in between that feud was supposed to start and then it didn't for whatever reason, and then we just kind of kept the tag team going because this happened and that happened, whatever. That's why I'm like I'm at this like fork where like it could go really well and it could go really bad, and I'm just kind of waiting for something to happen.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Well, there's also a rumor between them two that Bianca and Jade actually don't like each other, and they didn't like each other when they were tag teams.
I honestly,
I'm not one to get into rumors like that.
Yeah.
But when Jade gets back, it's going to be better. It's going to start the feud that we've been wanting.
Because I can't imagine that they don't. If they don't like each other, they hide it very well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
But,
anyway.
Yeah.
Right. Anyway. Dom, I would.
We already know mine.
You already said yours.
What about Scott? What do you got? What's your number 5?
Your number 5.
Okay. Well, I'm very, very disappointed in you guys, but you might have this higher on your list. But this is my number 5, and this is the obvious best debut of all. Is the White Six debuting
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
in
That's on my list.
WWE?
Trust me,
As
that's
my
on my
number 5.
list, and it is much higher.
Yeah, I knew it was on your list. Just we'll save it for when we reach to it. Yeah, the White Six is my number 5. The debut of the White Six was obviously just like Firefly Funhouse. They teased us, they stretched it, and it was an amazing ride waiting for them to return. And when they got into the ring, and knowing that they're not these superhuman powerhouses, it makes it so much better. And I'm really excited for 2025, what they're going to happen to it.
Okay, so here's the part where I kind of break people's hearts. This is gonna be a bit of a
Also, I'm sorry, but to reference chat here, yes, Ash, I did get my Firefly tattoo on my calf, so I'm pretty sure you can guess where it is on my list.
Yeah. Here's where I kind of break people's hearts here. The Wyatt Six is not on my list.
You're fired.
You heathen.
It's my show.
Fine.
All right, then you run the stream, motherfucker.
All right. All right.
Well, that's his New Year's resolution.
Learn how to operate Twitch.
But no, listen, and it's not. It's no disrespect towards any of them. Their debut was perfect.
Absolutely.
I said it on here. It was absolutely perfect. But I don't want to say that they've lost me, but it feels like
they haven't done much. I'll be honest. They really haven't done much.
Like that was like the climax of everything, and now we're kind of just not. I'm not seeing a direction.
Yeah, honestly, I get where you're coming from. I kind of feel the same way, but I've learned over the years of being such a fan of Bray Wyatt and everything he did that not to jump to conclusions too fast.
Yeah.
Because what might feel directionless right now could be them like kind of building some kind of mystique. Francis, what the fuck are you doing with your phone?
I mean,
I'm checking something real quick. Pay no mind.
I mean, don't get me wrong here. I'm
just watching his screen fucking shake.
I haven't
Sorry about that.
Francis, stop swiping on Tinder, for the love of God.
Don't tell me what
you
to
act
do.
like he's not. He's on Grindr. Shut up.
You wish.
Oh my God. But anyway, look, they haven't lost me on anything. I'm not saying like, oh, I'm completely let down by this, but I feel like I'm just waiting to see where this is going now, because it just feels like they're just doing things.
And that's the fun. That's the fun part with the Wyatts is like you never know where they go with what they're doing.
So
they could turn around fucking tomorrow and win the tag titles.
Don't get me. If this were a top 10 list, they would absolutely be on the top 10 list.
And see that's branching off. I also neglected to include them on my list purely because I knew
You're
that
fired.
other people would. I knew they were just going to be mentioned anyway, so I was like,
"Get spot over." Click.
Chris, this is your last episode on the show.
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. No, I left them off knowing that they would be mentioned in other lists.
Yeah.
So I was like, let me just focus on moments that maybe are not.
In all fairness, it's a safe bet with me.
Yeah.
Exactly. I was like, Dom's going to put them on there. I have no need.
Yeah. The same thing too. Like Dom and Scott are gonna put them on the list, so
Yeah.
they're gonna be on the show.
Thank God for Interlock.
Anyway, Francis,
what's your number 5
moment?
Okay, so I think I'm about to join Cap and Chris in the unemployment line of the Twitch. Not because of anything regarding the Wyatt Six, but because my number 5 is an AEW moment. But it's an AEW moment I think you guys are actually going to like. And that is the retirement of the Stinger.
That's on my list. Yeah, that's on my list too.
Don't worry.
Okay.
That's my only AEW moment.
Yeah.
That is my honorable mention. I literally have it written here. HB. Like,
Francis, that's not only on my list. That's not my only AEW moment on my list.
Really?
Really?
That's shocking. From the biggest AEW hater I know.
You are the biggest hater of AEW on the show.
I think I have an idea of what it is, but I'm
And
gonna
you have
wait until
two
Scott says it.
moments from AEW on your list.
I think that
I took this very serious, and I put away my my
Personal
hatred for
bias.
AEW aside. And when you obviously you know one of them because it's matches with Francis, but the other one you'll understand.
Yeah.
When I explain why it's on there, you'll understand why I put it on there.
Well, I definitely know which one it isn't.
I have a few honorable mentions in here.
You know,
I know what moment it isn't. I know it's definitely not the fucking debut of Mercedes Monet.
Oh God, no!
he's
Yeah.
like the biggest fan.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. But
No,
yeah,
I'm not gonna lie. I had
The Sting's retirement is on my honorable mention.
I have Sting's retirement as my number 4.
see,
so,
interlock is a good thing. It gets us through the fives better.
You know what that is? That's a segue to number 4. So yes, my number
true.
4
The segue to
was
number 4,
Sting's
and
retirement match.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, surprising to
Absolute
no one.
legend.
Surprising to no one. That is also my number 4.
Yeah.
What the fuck, Cap?
The retirement of
Did you
Sting.
fucking plagiarize my list?
Yes.
It was a great moment.
I snuck into your place last night. And
It was
stole
an amazing moment.
Joke's on you. I wrote my list this morning.
No, it was a
Jokes
great
on you,
moment.
Cap. That was a shopping list.
What can you
My
say about
Sting on
Sting's
your
retirement?
shopping list, you sick.
What can you say about the Sting retirement match? It was great.
Yeah.
I mean, it was
Yeah.
just, it was really, it was a great way to send him out, man. I mean,
Yeah,
really,
I
it
mean-
was, like I wouldn't want anything else.
He got to go
It
out
was
on
one of
top with his
It was one of
adopted son,
yeah.
Darby Allin, and his actual sons dressed as him.
Yeah.
No, it
Yeah.
was, it
That was
it
awesome.
was
It
absolutely
was it was probably one of the best retirement matches. Matt, you can probably put that as one of the best retirement matches.
Oh yeah, no,
It's
I,
like-
would-
it's
I would
like
put it
up
up
there
there.
with the best retirement match.
Yeah,
His retirement's up there with like Batista.
Batista,
And, like,
Flair.
He just got to go out and do his thing and
Yeah,
the way he wanted to.
Also,
Austin.
like, the way,
Austin,
also
yeah.
the way he did it was absolutely perfect. You know,
Mhm.
we got all of the classic Sting moments. We got a
Mhm.
really nice moment with his sons.
yeah,
By the way, I believe he is training one of his sons now. I
yes.
believe one of
Yeah.
them is
I think the one that was
Derek.
Surfer Sting. Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
The Wolfpack one?
No,
Um,
Surfer Sting.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
But it was absolutely perfect. I think what's even more perfect about it is the fact that I think what solidified it for me is the fact when you see so many of these retirement matches, and then they're not like, you know, really retirement because they show up somewhere else or, you know, they do one
Yeah.
more match on top of the one more
Jesus
match.
Christ.
Think, you know, think like Ric Flair's situation.
Cap, are the fucking cops showing up at your place or something? What the fuck is going on?
Nah,
with the
that was
lights?
me. Oh, I thought you were talking about the sound.
Oh, the TV.
But here,
I'm just watching like blue flashing all over the screen.
oh my god. But anyway, yeah. I think what's really made this special is he really is just like retired.
Yeah,
I mean, like I said, he's training his son right now, but
yeah,
like,
that's
you know,
different. He's not performing.
That's different on top of, you know, beyond everything else. And it really also felt like kind of a passing of the torch to Darby during that match as well. Like, you know, he said it when he first announced that, like, you know, Showtime was coming to an end. Showtime was just beginning for Darby Allin, however.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be honest. I'm obviously for the show and for my own personal enjoyment. Sometimes I still do watch AEW. Darby Allin has been doing a very good job over there. He's still one of the best homegrown talents that they have on that show.
Yeah, other than MJF, absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, I was
Yeah.
gonna say it's like him and MJF are the reasons that I will pick up.
They're the only reasons I will watch AEW from time to time.
Oh, and unlike I can mention this because it could be a part of it. And unlike Ricochet, who left the WWE because of creative issues and the way they didn't like his character being portrayed, just to go to AEW
And get
where
the same
I just
exact
saw a
treatment.
segment of toilet paper being thrown at him and all over his body. So good job, Ricochet. You definitely did the right choice. You haven't done a thing, but that's not what we're talking about.
Couldn't keep the hatred in check for one.
He
stretch.
couldn't
No,
keep it in-
no, he said something
He
nice
was
about
talking
AEW, so he had to
nice
balance it
things
out.
About AEW, he's got to get one negative thing out, otherwise he's gonna like implode or something.
Yeah, the universe will collapse in on itself.
Yeah.
Or create a singularity.
But
A
yeah,
negative
no,
space wedgie.
my number 4 moment is Sting. We love you, Stinger. And
What?
yeah, you are the number 4 moment for
Mm-hmm.
2024. You're apparently also the number 4 moment for Dom as well. So,
Yeah.
Chris, you're number 4, please.
My number 4 is odd in the way that I phrased it, but I struggled with finding a 4 that I really thought sat well. It is specifically Io Sky's performance in the Money in the Bank match.
Genius of the
Okay.
sky.
Like,
I get it.
months later, I'm still like, God damn.
Yeah.
Like that match was like, it was fine. It was a Money in the Bank. It was cool. But specifically,
But
the
she
shit that
went
Io
off.
Sky was
Yeah.
doing in it, it was like, oh my God.
Well, yeah,
So, yeah,
because, like Francis said, there's a reason they call her the genius of the sky. She
Mhm.
excels in those matches, and like
Yeah,
same thing
and
with
so-
war games. Like you give
she's
her
always-
something tall to jump off of, and she goes fucking nuts.
Yeah, so
Absolutely.
it's specifically Io Sky's performance in the Money in the Bank. Like, everyone that was there did a great job. It was a great Money in the Bank match. But
She
like,
stole the show.
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
so easily. Oh my God, so easily.
If Io Sky does not win a championship in 2025, that will probably be my biggest
Gripe.
mistake of WWE's choices.
Yeah,
Like,
I think she
Yeah.
needs another run with the women's title.
By herself.
I agree with that.
She's
I
gonna get
agree.
it. At some point, she'll
I'm
get
sure
it.
she will. Yeah, I agree. But yeah, it's her performance in Money in the Bank that really stood out to me enough where it was like, this is. I'm still thinking about this. Like, that was the first thing that came to my mind when I started writing up this list, was like that moment. So
All right.
I knew it had to be on there somewhere.
All right. That's a good moment.
Yes.
Francis, you're number 4.
All right, we're gonna hop over from AEW to another promotion. We're heading over to New Japan. My number 4, Zack Sabre Jr. winning the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. He is I've said this before, like months ago when he won it back in October. He is the second ever non-Japanese wrestler behind Kenny Omega to win the belt, and he is the first ever to win it in a way where he wins the G1 tournament, but instead of waiting to cash in at Wrestle Kingdom in January, like how the wrestlers normally do, he just said, "Nah, dog, I'm gonna do my own thing, and I want that bitch now." And then he got it.
So basically, so he did the same thing, like as if like someone won the Royal Rumble and said, "I don't want to wait. Like, I want
Exactly.
to have my match
Pretty
tonight."
much.
He did the
Yeah.
New Japan.
But that is,
over.
it is exceedingly much
Shut
more
up.
rare to happen in New Japan than like a Money in the Bank same night cash. in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, that is like almost unheard of outside of a few people.
Yeah.
From what I understand. Well, not from what I understand, from what I've seen of New Japan.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right.
And it's
Yeah.
also really perfect because Zack is the exact person you would want New Japan to have strap their top belt to, because they always pride themselves like as the legitimate sports promotion, and Zack is arguably the most legit guy they have there, second only to Jeff Cobb, and we all know what a freak that guy is. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like you can always put that in a topic in a top 5 of the year, because me personally, I love the concept of tournaments. I've always have.
Yeah.
And knowing during Francis doing that whole segment throughout the weeks, I just really loved knowing the names that kept popping up, the names that kept rising through the ranks, and knowing Zack Sabre Jr. is one of the few that I actually know the name of. So it was definitely on there. He definitely deserved what he's getting in
Yeah.
everything after.
Yeah.
Listen, you'll hear no complaints from me. Zack Sabre is one of the few, one of the few people in New Japan that I am very familiar with, and I'm a very big fan of Zack. He also had like a very small stint during the Cruiserweight Classic for WWE when they were doing those.
Yeah, way back when.
Mhm.
And he was, to be honest with you, I was almost positive he was going to be the one to win it.
Mhm.
For a very long time, all of my money was on Zack. Just because he's somebody that just fits that superstar mold so perfectly. He
Yeah.
does everything in the ring and outside of the ring. Everything he does is perfect. The man has star power written all over
If
him.
he showed up at the Rumble instead of Andrade, he would have gotten the bigger pop. especially if they ever plan on doing like a Rumble in the UK, because like he's big here in the States, but he is a god
Oh,
in
he's
Britain.
Oh, I believe
Yeah.
it. I believe it.
And
Like
the UK
British
crowd,
Bulldog
UK
level.
crowds are always fucking wild.
Exactly. And for a
Yeah.
hometown boy, forget it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
no, that would
God.
be insane.
Anyway,
Yeah,
that,
but massive congratulations to Zack Sabre Jr. He will be defending the IWGP belt against John Moxley's son, Shota Umino, at the Wrestle Kingdom show in January.
look at that. We killed two birds with one stone there. We got a top four moment. We also had a little bit of a moment with everybody's favorite residential weeaboo, Francis Harrison.
Tadaima!
I'm like right up there with him. So
Oh, man. All right.
All right, Scott,
Anyway,
what was your
Scott
number
Pack,
4?
or number 4.
Number 4,
Yes.
and this is one. This is my AEW one. One of my AEW ones. And all right, before I mention my number 4, I just want to have a little context on here of similarity. I want to mention Edge for a bit because
I thought he was about to light up a bowl.
for the longest, this is actually I actually put here for a very sentimental reason. So you'll guys be surprised what it is. But for Edge, it's not about Edge, but Edge. We all know the story of what happened to Edge. He got a neck injury, and he was out for an extensive amount of time. I forgot what year Edge kind of started leaving, or he made that retirement.
2011.
2011. All right, that's great.
Yeah.
Because there was another. My number 4 is mentioned on another person who had to leave wrestling, who had to retire. But this isn't a reason because of Edge's reason. Because Edge's reason, he got hurt. But we're also on the other side. Edge also had a long, great career. You know, he had a history behind him when he retired. Unlike this guy, which his return, it hit a little something for AEW, and it's Nigel McGuinness returning
Oh.
to AEW in wrestling AEW, because as this is a sentimental reason, he retired the same year as Edge in 2011. And the reason why I put him on this list, because it's a little bit more upsetting, because he was kind of forced to retire. Because unlike Edge, who was forced to retire due to injury, he had to retire because he was just an unsuccessful. He wasn't making enough money, and he had to leave. And it's personally, when you're doing a dream that you love and something you leave because of something like that, it hurts a little more than what happened with Edge, because you couldn't really succeed in the way you wanted to do it. So Nigel McGuinness returning to AEW into, I think it was their own version of a Rumble.
Yeah,
that is my number 4.
The casino battle.
The casino battle royale, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Completely agree with him, man. Nigel McGuinness. I think everybody just had it like it was such like a feel good story having Nigel come back. You know, for a lot of people, a lot of like our younger audience members might not, remember his days as like Desmond Wolfe and TNA and stuff like that.
I do. British Invasion.
But yeah, he was such a cool character back then, and I actually didn't know the exact reason as to why he retired, but to hear, because
he was just cut. Yeah,
just a personal decision. No, it is. There is an extra level of sad there, but not only that. There's an extra layer of just warmth to the story of him returning, and to hear, in his own in Wembley, he is the hometown boy, and to hear just the warmth in his return, it was beautiful, man. It was a beautiful moment.
Yeah. No, I mean, absolutely. I honestly forgot that happened this year. But
a lot happened this year.
There was a lot that happened this year, but like, yeah, I remember hearing about that and just being like genuinely really happy about him coming back.
Yeah.
I've been a big fan of Nigel McGuinness, not just since him as a wrestler, as a part of the British Invasion faction in TNA in the late 2000s, but also him as an announcer in the golden era of NXT alongside Mauro Ranallo. He was an excellent color commentator, so much so that I genuinely, for a brief period of time, I forgot he was a wrestler for a little bit. But to have him come back and see like he hasn't lost step is really something, man.
Yeah.
It was a beautiful moment, and I think we're all happy that Nigel finally got his flowers. To be honest,
Yeah.
Even though it is an AEW, but,
Yeah.
Hey,
well,
you know what?
We'll add him to
I
the
gotta go
list of
somewhere,
guys
man.
will watch it too.
No,
You know
absolutely.
what?
Yeah.
All right, we are moving on to number 3. Number 3, everybody. So my number 3 moment is I'm gonna be I struggled with these last 3 slots.
The splots.
Specifically because of the order to put them in.
Uh-huh.
But I think it's very safe to have this as at least in the top 3. And that is going to be the Hell in a Cell match between CM Punk.
Ooh.
Hey, Cap, we agree on something, baby. That's my number 3. We all know I'm the biggest CM Punk simp in the world. I love that man with my heart. He's been my favorite wrestler since I was a kid.
Oh my
I
god.
fucking love CM Punk. That is my number 3 moment as well.
I'm not gonna
History,
lie,
Punk, Hell in a Cell.
that was my honorable mention. Was
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
CM Punk Drew?
Oh, me and Dom don't have the same number 3.
I know.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah, that's surprising.
That's crazy.
That's my my honorable mention simply because of the fact of I wasn't 100% thrilled on that feud because I know we've talked about it in the past. I was like, they're fighting over a fucking friendship bracelet.
Friendship bracelet.
Wow. Woo.
Dude, it was great. I love
No, but that's what I'm saying. I was like, it was kind of like I wasn't thrilled with the feud, but that match made it so much better because it was such a grueling, just fucking awesome kick-ass match.
Well, here are my reasons. Number 1, hands down, Drew McIntyre versus CM Punk was one of the greatest stories that were told this year. One of the greatest rivalries of the year, in my mind.
Yeah.
It got so personal, so ugly, so raw. How much these two just hated each other.
Yeah, but that was my point. And like I said, we've talked about this in the past when they were actively feuding. Was the fact that they got so deep and so personal and so fucking at each other's throats over a string with some beads on it. Like that was the only saving grace. It was because it was like it's so fucking dumb. It's so dumb. Okay, shut the fuck up.
Symbolism.
But here's the thing.
But my point being is, like, yes, I felt a certain way about it, but in the end, it was good. Hindsight is 20/20, clearly.
Here's the thing. It did something else, though. It brought back the aura of the Hell in a Cell match.
Absolutely, 100%. And that's what made me really like be okay with that.
This was a feud that it got so nasty. This feud,
it needed Hell in a Cell.
The only way this was going to end, the only logical conclusion, was Hell in a Cell, and that's what I loved about this match. It brought the ugliness, the aura, the fiery energy of the Hell in a Cell that has just been gone for years.
Yeah, I said it when they did it, and I'll say it again. The best thing they did for Hell in a Cell was take the gimmick pay-per-view away.
Yeah.
It should not just be reserved for October because Halloween.
Yeah.
You know, Hell in a Cell is for these fucking blood feuds that need a good ending like that.
A bloody ending.
Yes.
Yeah. It needs a bloody, violent ending. It was the perfect ending to this storyline. And yeah, that's my number 3 for 2024.
Yeah, it's my number 3 for very, very similar reasons. Also, I think we're neglecting to mention the best part of that match, which was the bead spot. Because oh my
no.
god.
The bag
So,
of
like,
friendship
I'm
bracelet beads.
the bag of friendship bracelet beads that we did a spot on. I am a sucker for really goofy shit in wrestling sometimes.
No,
And that's what really gets me.
I feel you. I am a sucker for a thumbtack spot that doesn't involve
No.
thumbtacks.
Yeah, exactly, right? So, like,
Mhm.
that is like
Whether it's Lego bricks, D&D dice, fucking.
Yeah.
I've seen so many. I saw, at Warriors of Wrestling, fucking Frat Boy Farva did a
Oh God, I love
thumbtack spot with ping pong balls.
right. But, like, in saying that, I had a very hard time choosing between the Hell in a Cell and the of course now it
The
escapes
strap
me,
match?
the strap match.
Yeah.
I had a hard time choosing between those two, but it was the tack spot.
Yeah.
That I
No,
was like, yeah,
That's
Yeah, that
it was that. It's him
That definitely-
shoving the friendship bracelet down his trunks, and like Drew,
Oh,
when he
yeah.
shoved the whole thing like right into his crotch.
Yeah.
Like there's so many moments. And,
Oh yeah,
and-
when he takes it out of his trunks and then like Punk is kissing it, like dude, that was like wrapped around his balls. What are you doing?
yeah, like
He was blinded by pure hatred.
there's so many great
Yeah,
moments
so-
in that match. And in saying that, like, we all know I was gonna have a Punk thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Anyway,
I'm honestly shocked it wasn't higher.
Yeah, well,
Anyway.
so you'll see why, but
Oh, okay.
yeah, it was. I had a very hard time
You'll
choosing
see
between
why.
those two.
Yeah, this match was definitely the Hell in a Cell match was definitely great. The thing that carries the thing, I wouldn't have agreed it would be in a top 5 for me, but the thing that I really think could carry this into a top 5 conversation is the fact that it wasn't a pay-per-view; it was a stimulation, like
Mhm.
Dom said, and it just showed. We saw a little spark of how much better these Hell in a Cell matches are going to get because they're not on a pay-per-view.
Because they're gonna
Yes,
have
I'm
feeling
still
behind
going to
it. It's
say
not-
pay-per-view.
But
We've
that's
been
what I'm
saying
saying. Because it's
all
like
night,
it's
but-
not going to be just because there's a pay per view called Hell in a Cell that we have to have a Hell in a Cell match. Like no, we're gonna next time we see a Hell in a Cell match, it's gonna be because the two people that are
Because they
fighting
have
in
no
it
choice.
are trying to
Mhm.
fucking murder each other.
Hmm.
It's still going on to this point. You could see Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens in a Hell in a Cell. match.
Honestly, I hope it ends that way.
Yeah.
No, me too. That would be great.
Potential, you know.
I
Anyway,
still hope they
Scott,
bring.
You're number 3, please.
Number 3, and I'll be surprised if nobody else has this on their list, is the return of Saturday Night Main Event. Yes, Saturday Main
Nice.
Event is my number 3. This is something that we watched as a kid. I think it was
Except
in
for
the
Chris,
morning.
he's like
If
a
I'm
fetus.
yeah. It was. I think it was in the morning, if I'm correct.
No,
Oh, well, Saturday night, but yeah, there was Saturday morning ones. I think there was Heat and stuff and Velocity.
it was usually like a
Saturday morning
replay.
superstars. I
Yeah, it
wanna
was
say.
like replays and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was something I've never really like as a kid growing up. I've never noticed that it disappeared. It just stopped, and having it come back and having that match like amazing. That whole pay-per-view was really good, even though it was predictable. It was a really
it was
amazing
fun.
pay-per-view.
It was a fun one.
Or event.
I like it. No, it was
No,
good.
Absolutely. Anyway,
Yeah.
Francis, you're number 3, please.
My numero tres. I know. There we go. I know languages.
You had to
Uh,
fight not saying Uno, did you?
I almost said a different language entirely. I almost said something in French. My number 3.
He speaks French.
You
You'd be
wish.
surprised. This isn't necessarily a moment, but it's something that's going on. The resurrection of TNA, like as a brand.
Okay,
Yeah.
so my number 3 kind of ties into this. So
Yeah. For the better part of a decade, total nonstop action wrestling has been the whipping boy of the worst wrestling you will ever see anywhere ever. And after getting bought and sold between 6 different platforms and getting rebooted by a guy from Canada, it looks like between a whole new mass of talent that they cropped up and the partnership that they currently have with WWE, which again, was very unprecedented when they announced it. Things are looking up for TNA in a big way. So much so that they stand a very real chance of selling out arenas, something they've never been able to do before.
Yeah.
And yeah,
No, go ahead.
and yeah, and not to mention all the talent they have, like Jordan Grace showing up in the Royal Rumble, and of course the man, the myth, the legend himself, Joe Hendry.
Yep.
I have a feeling he was going to show up.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
go to kind of segue into my number 3 because it's basically the same thing. My number 3 that I had written down was the NXTNA crossover, as I like to call it.
NXTNA, there we go.
So with having Joe Hendry show up on NXT several times, same thing with Jordan Grace, and having the NXT stars showing up on TNA, I just thought it was a really cool way to like kind of do that forbidden door tactic of things, and just having that crossover, which in the Vince McMahon time
Would never happen.
would never fucking happen
In a
unless
million years.
unless he bought TNA, which he didn't even see a purpose in doing because he could have.
Yeah.
Um,
They were that insignificant to him.
exactly. They were so little of a threat. He didn't feel the need to buy them. So that's the only way you would have got a crossover with Vince is if he owned the company. Because why should he make someone else money?
Yeah, no, absolutely.
So
Yeah.
with Triple H running the show and having that kind of I can't think of the right word, but to have
Respect, kind of.
I guess just like the open mindedness of
Acknowledgement.
Yeah.
Sure.
Knowledge, yeah.
I'm not going to buy you, but I do want to work.
But I want to work together. Exactly. It just goes to show we're in a different era of professional wrestling altogether.
Yeah.
Now, if we can get Tony Khan to pull his head out of his own ass.
I was going to make a joke like TNA actually is.
It'll never happen.
TNA is respected now, and they have passed on the baton of the most clowned on wrestling promotion to AEW.
Yeah, and that's fucking just like it's sad.
Yeah.
Because AEW is supposed to be like legit competition for WWE, and they can't even fucking touch NXT right now.
Can't touch TNA right now.
Yeah, exactly. Bro, they had their equivalent of SummerSlam at the Prudential Center, and I think I've seen WNBA games that had more fucking ticket sales than that did.
Keeping with TNA, there's a question I asked you guys that I want to ask Chris. Last week, I think it was last week, we reported that, TNA is going to try and sell out an arena, not for their day-to-day shows,
for their pay-per-view. For their WrestleMania.
Version
right.
of WrestleMania.
Do you think they're going to pull it off?
Shit. Yeah. I think they can.
Because
I think especially with the crossover that they've been promoting so much that I do think that they could actually do it.
Because you said, Scott, when we were talking about this subject, TNA venues are starting to get more and more packed, and they're attracting more and more attention to themselves. So that's actually really working out well in their favor.
Because I know they're
their
going to
ratings
be
are going up.
They're going to be at UBS, the UBS Arena in Long Island
in July for Slammiversary.
Yeah. So here's my thing. I don't think that they will sell out, but I think they're going to be pretty damn close.
I think they'll do very well. I don't know if sell out.
They'll definitely do well. I don't know. I don't know if they'll sell out UBS Arena because that's a big fucking arena.
I'd go, man.
I would love it.
I mean, I'd be down. Shit, if we can get tickets cheap. If we can get tickets cheap, we can take the show on the road.
It's just going on the road.
TNA, the tickets,
2025.
It's TNA. The tickets will be relatively cheap, but
exactly, it's TNA. The tickets are going to be
it won't
cheap.
cost. It won't cost us a left testicle to go.
Yeah.
Well, I know what I got to do.
Bye, righty. I think that's all.
Need the one.
I think that's all our number threes. Yeah.
Yeah, I believe so.
Moving on to number two. So I will get the number two started.
Okay. Sure.
'Cause I say this only because it was such a fucking running gag for so long for us.
Here we go.
And but it was a very good moment at the time.
Yeah.
What came of it was okay. Nothing crazy, nothing to write home about. But the moment itself was fun. The Avengers Endgame of the professional wrestling world. Cody Rhodes finally finishing the story at WrestleMania.
And there
I'd
goes
put that
my
at my
number
number
one.
two.
And there goes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
I did.
I kind of cheated my number 2, but
Yeah.
I deliberately left that out simply of the fact that we waited years for that to happen, and it just took too long for me to consider it in the top 5. Even though it was an amazing and probably one of the best matches of the year, I couldn't put it up there just because it took way too long to happen.
I've kind of cheated in
Did-
putting all. I literally put 2, all of WrestleMania 40.
Yeah.
Because
So
even the lackluster matches of WrestleMania 40,
Were
you
fun.
put them in any other pay-per-view,
They're
and they're
amazing.
like grand fucking slams.
No, yeah, WrestleMania this year was on another level.
yeah.
It
Oh, no,
one
it
of
was absolutely
the
fantastic.
best.
It wasn't
So
just that it was a great show. It's also a harbinger of what's to come
Yeah.
in the Triple
Oh,
H
yeah.
era of booking.
It was a huge step in the right
Yeah.
direction.
Mhm.
It was a
And I
big
think-
moment of proving.
And I think Dom was absolutely right in saying that, like, that moment in particular really did feel like the Avengers Endgame
Yeah.
of professional wrestling. So I think he was absolutely spot on with that.
Yeah, I could agree with that. Yeah, I literally
And
put just all of
WrestleMania
WrestleMania.
40, hands down, might be one of the best, if it weren't for like my first ever WrestleMania, it would probably be the best WrestleMania I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's definitely for
I-
me. It's up there. Like obviously,
Definitely.
WrestleMania 20 will forever be biased to me.
Well,
But-
you were
Yeah.
there. That's fair.
Without like the nostalgia tie-ins, I would say it's the best WrestleMania I've ever seen.
I put it up on my TikTok the day after WrestleMania 40,
Mhm.
and I literally said, like, on that TikTok, I was like, I think this will go down as one of like the best WrestleManias in history.
I think it absolutely will.
Yeah.
The
it was-
reason I
it
never
was
call it the
phenomenal.
best is because WrestleMania is going to go on forever, and they always have room to top it. Which is
The
good.
best up
Yeah.
until now.
There we go.
It'll go down as one of the best in history.
Yes.
All right, Cap.
Hey,
What's your number 2?
Okay. Well, it's funny you guys mention TNA because yes,
Oh.
I will absolutely agree. There was a big they went through a bit of a glow up, let's say, this year. But there was one guy in particular
Here we go.
who
Get
had
it
the
ready,
big
Dom.
glow up out of all of them. Take it away, Dom.
Say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry.
That's right. My number 2 is the rise of Joe Hendry in not just TNA, not just NXT, but in the world
As a
of
meme.
professional wrestling. As a meme, he is the rise of Joe Hendry in pop culture in general this year. Is
Who
absolutely
knew all it took to become the most over man in wrestling was to turn yourself into a meme?
John Cena.
This
Not
man
I.
became the most over act in all of professional wrestling. Forget about the bloodline. Forget about the CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre. Forget about The Rock becoming a villain again. The biggest thing in 2024, one of the biggest things to happen in 2024, was the rise of Joe Hendry in pop culture. I see this man showing up at the Royal Rumble next year.
Oh,
I
easy.
see this man.
We're gonna mark the fuck out.
I see this man 100% at that UBS arena.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
At that show,
Yeah.
that man is 100% walking out as TNA World Champion.
If he
don't,
doesn't-
it's gonna be
Yeah.
a failure.
Honestly, if he
He's,
doesn't do either of those things, if he doesn't show up at the Rumble and win that title, I will be genuinely shocked.
I will
His
consider
title
I will
match is next
consider
month, I
failing
believe.
on
Is it
TNA
really?
Yeah, he's already number 1 contender, and he's facing
Oh.
off against Ziggler next month, I believe.
Okay, well,
Oh,
My man,
Yeah.
no, my man needs to wait until they sell out that arena so he can become
He's-
world champion.
no, he
Little
can
Mickey
no, but he
Mouse.
can go in as the champion.
Yeah.
Good.
He's a draw.
He's fighting
Yeah.
the Ziggly Wiggly.
He's fighting
But-
Jiggly
He's
Wiggly.
fighting good old Nick Nemeth.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think hands down the number two. It's not the best thing to happen this year because I think there was something bigger that happened, but 100% number 2 of 2024 is Joe Hendry. Actually, you know what? Can we just get the button again, please?
Yeah, 1 second.
Say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry.
So yeah,
These days we're gonna play that, and he's actually going to appear.
When you get Joe
Yeah,
Hendry
so-
on the show, I'm gonna shit yourself.
so for people, so for people who don't know, and you know, I'll be surprised if you don't know. Joe Henry started getting really popular during the week of WrestleMania, and I think Joe Henry, not only did he get popular and big throughout those years, he did something that I don't think any wrestler or not any person has ever done in the history of WrestleMania. He overshadowed WrestleMania for a good 3 days. We weren't talking about WrestleMania. We were just talking about Joe Hendry's theme song. That's
Yeah.
how much of an impact he instantly got. He overshadowed WrestleMania for a bit. We didn't even care about Cody finishing the story. We wanted the new story to begin of Joe Hendry.
Well, that's
And
the thing too. Is like you got to think
It's
about it
been
this
amazing.
way. There was a lot of people, thanks to TikTok and social media and stuff. A lot of people that don't even know professional wrestling that were singing his theme song. Like you
Yeah.
never watched a fucking second of professional wrestling in their life. So like, but that just goes to show, like he's on that level of stardom, just of being a household name that John Cena's at, or
Yes,
because.
actually, yes.
Like even before Cena started doing movies and shit, right? You go back to the the ruthless aggression and the PG era. Everybody knew who John Cena was. Even the most wrestling hating motherfuckers you could think of, they know John Cena. Everyone knows John Cena. Now it's even easier because he's done so many movies and this and that and fucking all that good stuff, but. He was a big name. The Rock was always a huge name. Everyone knows The Rock. How do you not know The Rock?
Rock the Dwayne Johnson.
Anyway, yeah.
So, but then Joe Hendry, because like you look at it this way, it's like perfect example. He's still a fucking meme. First off,
Yeah.
I was literally on TikTok like 2 or 3 days ago, and I saw a video, and it was like it's like the church band are wrestling fans, and it's like they're playing like the church music, and then all of a sudden they like sneak in Joe Hendry's theme song on the piano, and it's like you look at the comments and like, why did I clap?
Yeah, like
I love
it's such a ridiculously gigantic meme.
Mm-hmm.
But that's why it
It's
works.
literally it's to the level of like you can't see me, John Cena.
Yeah,
But it works.
Yeah.
Like it's on that level of like there are people who have not watched a minute of wrestling and you say
You
his
know
name,
Joe
and
Hendry.
everyone's gonna fucking clap. You know,
Say his name, and he does
he
appear.
appears. Yeah,
Figuratively
like,
speaking, of course.
God. Anyway, Francis, you're number 2.
That's not the first time I've been told that. Well, for this one, we're gonna shake things up for the push
oh
and
no,
move things to a different location.
oh god, he's taking us to the bathroom.
God, we're going.
Because yeah, that's right.
Make sure-
We're gonna attract
make sure you
those
put some-
people.
Oh god, make sure you put certain things away in your room that I know you have in there
My
because you had it
blankets.
laying around.
No,
so.
you're dildos.
No.
Oh God.
What
Anyway,
the fuck
you're
is he doing? What are you doing?
What are you doing?
Charger. I'm at 10%.
He's taking his cock out.
That was a good Charlie impression. My number 2 is the arrival of the Motor City Machine Guns in WWE.
Really?
I honestly thought him
Damn.
moving was part of a bit that he was doing. I didn't really.
Honestly, I thought so.
I was expecting something crazy.
No.
I was like, what elaborate fucking thing did he set up in his bedroom?
I was so scared. I'm
Okay,
gonna be
hold
honest.
on, guys, because I really need to hear this explanation. The Motor City Machine Guns, huh?
That surprises you? He's a fucking mark for them.
Did you
No,
not?
I mean, listen, it surprises. I'll tell you why it surprises me because listen, I think all of us here are maybe not Chris. I don't. Chris, are you familiar with the machine guns?
I am. Yes,
Okay.
I'm aware more than anything else.
Are you a fan of the Motor City Machine Guns?
That's fine. They're cool.
All right, but yeah. So I guess my thing is, I don't know. I feel like they hadn't been around long enough to
Yeah.
be considered one of the top five. I guess. Don't get me wrong. I like them. They're cool. I'm a fan of the ones, but I feel like to say that they are top five of 2024, I
It
think
has more to do
Francis,
with what they mean to me.
Francis, can you put your headset back on because you're
yeah,
getting a lot
please.
of echo.
Yeah, it's in my room. Well, I can actually because my fucking charge port. Hold on, I have something to fix that.
Oh God.
I was wondering what the hell that was.
My God, I hope he's wearing pants.
Oh my God, please be wearing please be one of the streams where he's wearing pants. Oh God. Okay, he is. It might actually be worse.
Yeah.
It might actually be worse.
No, we're just getting a lot of echo on your end.
Huh.
Not from you, for like we could hear ourselves in your speaker, in your microphone.
All right. He might just have to like turn off his mic when he's not.
You don't have Bluetooth headphones?
No, I would lose those super easily.
Maybe we should have got him that instead of kitchenware for Christmas.
No, he
thought
needed
the
the
same
fucking
thing.
oven mitts.
Yes, he actually no.
Get
100% he
these.
needs kitchenware.
Get this brand, this style.
We are not
They
sponsored.
don't-
Not sponsored.
I'll look into it.
Not sponsored. I'm just saying it because the design of it hooks around your ear and you don't lose it, unlike the AirPods, in which when I was in the city, I saw a guy with a string and a paper clip try to fish out one of his AirPods through a crate on the ground, and I was like, "Yep, never getting something like that." That was the day.
Yeah. All right, but anyway, Francis, your number 2 was the guns.
Yeah, it has more to do with what they mean to me as a tag team.
Fair enough.
Totally fair.
Anyway,
I'm
Scott, your number 2.
My number 2 is a number 2 that was already mentioned, but not at number 2. Sting's last match. That's what I had as my number 2.
Your number 2.
This was definitely because of the age that Sting retired. Because of unlike the wrestlers of Terry Funk, unlike the wrestlers of Ric Flair, there wasn't an urge of God, can you please just goddamn retire? You need to stop doing this. He was perfect throughout the whole thing.
Mhm.
He had an undefeated streak, obviously, at AEW when he retired. He never lost a match. It was the best way he could have went out, give or take that WWE completely screwed his character, in which I kind of believe that's why he's been away from WWE for that long in the times of when he left, because of what they were going to do to his character. And you saw it. Sting was only winning. He only won like 2-3 matches. And he was in a bunch of matches too. He wasn't like he'd done a bunch of regular shows, not only pay-per-views, but for somebody as big as it was for him to return to WWE, he didn't get the shine. And knowing he got the shine at AEW, that was one of the few AEW moments that I was like, they did right.
I would agree. Like I said, man, it was the perfect ending to a Hall of Fame career.
Absolutely.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, and we went through all that earlier.
Yeah.
Where
Yeah.
it was just like so
Anyway.
Yeah.
the way at the end of
Does
that.
anyone else have a number 2 left?
No.
Okay. All right.
I'm gonna
We are
request
now
to
moving
hold
on.
my number 1 for last.
We are
Okay.
now. You want to
Like I
save
have
yours for last?
I was gonna say I'll go first because I think we all know what my number 1 is.
I feel like I do.
Nah.
So, Dom,
Oh God,
what is your
I
number
totally
1?
forgot. Did you really put it at number 1?
Yes, I did.
Of course, man. What else was going at number 1 for Dom?
Of course. Who else? Where else was this going to go on his list?
Yeah, really. So
It's him.
if it wasn't obvious enough, the debut of the Wyatt Six is my number 1 moment for 2024. Not only because obviously, I thought it was very perfectly executed. It was very like a great homage to Bray and everything, and you could feel the emotion behind it, which was great. But obviously, because I was always been such a huge fan of Bray Wyatt, like I said, to the point I've got his Firefly logo tattooed on my calf, which I'm not about to start showing people feet, so I'm not picking my leg up to show off the tattoo. Um, but yeah,
Yeah,
we
sorry, folks. You have to wait for the push OnlyFans to jobs. Gotta wait for the inevitable the push OnlyFans account.
yeah, when TikTok gets banned, we might move over to that.
Oh God.
I'm kidding. But yes, like we discussed earlier in the year, um, Bray Wyatt meant a lot to me in terms of wanting to wrestle and getting in the ring for the first time because for the longest time, especially under Vince McMahon, there was very much a stigma of if you're not 6 foot tan and jacked, you're not gonna wrestle ever on TV. But then Bray Wyatt showed up, and yeah, okay, he was a big dude, he was tall, but he wasn't like my height. He wasn't 5'7". It is what it is. But to see someone that wasn't exactly the typical cookie cutter mold of a wrestler in Vince McMahon's eyes, and to see the things he did in the ring for a man his size, it was just genuinely impressive. And he was, I can credit, like I said, I can credit Bray Wyatt for being the guy that got me in the wrestling ring in the first place and having the confidence to do that and everything. So Bray meant a lot to me personally, and I really loved his creativity and the horror aspect of everything he did and the macabre vibe that came with him. So I mean, to the point, I still I have my replica title with his side plates still on it. I refuse to take them off. Like they will stay on that thing forever.
Mhm.
So clearly that is my number one. So because it meant a lot that they didn't just scrap the entire idea after he passed away.
Yeah.
Because this was something that's been in the works since his return, his first return. That they were teasing with Uncle Howdy and everything, and because they signed Bo Dallas almost immediately when Bray returned after he was let go originally.
Mhm.
I believe they were signed within weeks of each other, and it's just Bo was kept on the hush, and they had this in the works. Bray had a whole new Fiend outfit put out. We talked about this when they released the documentary.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that was my number one. There was a lot of sentimental value behind that.
Beautiful.
I'll go next because my number one was already mentioned. My number one, and I believe it's the true number one of of the wrestling that happened in 2024, and that is the TNA NXT crossover. Simply because it was mentioned before. This would have never happened if Vince McMahon was in charge. Unlike ECW and WCW, the only way they appeared in WWE was because he bought them. It's because he demolished them, and it shows. It shows growth. It shows that Triple H wasn't completely taking over of Vince's ideas, that he had his own view, because that was the major viewpoint of, okay, this actually could be very different. And to be honest, it was very needed, because even though AEW was hitting their downfall, and as much as I love talking about it, and I'm going to continue to love talking about it throughout the next year, the fact that AEW and New Japan were doing something together at some points, it was something that WWE definitely needed to watch,
Mm-hmm.
and that's why that was my number one.
All right.
Nice.
Francis, your number one. of 2024.
He's got to get all set up
I
here.
gotta get all set up.
He's gonna unplug his charger, plug in his headphones.
Yep.
I went through an entire
You're still muted, numbnuts.
You're muted.
Drum roll.
Turn your
Hold
mic
on, we're giving a
on.
drum roll. Drum roll.
This better be the
Drum
greatest
roll.
moment of 2024.
He definitely doesn't even hear us. That's the sad part.
Oh my god.
There we go.
There.
My finger wasn't connected.
There's the man.
Your finger wasn't connected. What is it? Fucking Bluetooth?
I have
Yeah.
no. I'm hitting the mic button and nothing's going through.
Oh, that happens.
Anyway,
Yeah.
your number one moment, Francis, please.
I already said it was WrestleMania 40.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
In typical fucking Francis fashion, you get about 4 words. There you go. Moving on. You know what?
There was reasons I talked less during my 2 and 1 because there were already topics. Is because I wanted to save certain moments for when I actually mentioned it in my top 5
Yeah.
myself.
You know what? It's fine. It wouldn't be Francis if it wasn't for. It was good.
Yeah.
It was good.
You want me
It
to,
was
I can
fun.
go in, I can go into more detail if you want me to.
Or his other famous line. Everyone else already said everything.
I mean, in all fairness,
Yeah.
I don't really think there's much more you can say that we didn't say
No.
about WrestleMania 40.
I liked when Motionless in White showed up.
There you go.
Yes, there we
That
go.
was
There's
fucking
more we can
awesome.
talk
There we
about.
go. Motionless and
Motionless and
white.
white.
Okay,
That
go
was
fucking
fucking
mute
awesome.
yourself again.
Motionless and
Uh,
white.
Can I mention something
No.
You just
before we continue with your number ones? I just want to mention I didn't have an honorable mention because I didn't think of it. But I
Think of
do
one
have
right
an
now.
honorable mention.
Right now.
And this is gonna freak all you guys out, and I'm pretty sure the first thing you're gonna do is try to look for this video. My
Mercedes
honorable
Monet.
mention is watching a video of Rhea Ripley twerking.
Oh, I've seen that. It was on TikTok.
Already.
Yeah, no, we all saw that, man.
I sent it to my
Yeah,
girlfriend hours ago.
Wait.
Yeah,
That's your
no.
honorable mention? That didn't take number 1?
That was your.
It's just so no. It's too new. It's too new.
No, but-
It's too new.
It's too new. It doesn't
My
need to
number
be
one-
any.
Yeah.
My top
That's
5,
ridiculous.
I took it serious.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
But,
Took it
oh
serious.
god.
Nah, that's yeah.
Oh god.
If Rhea did that in like August, that would be number infinity.
Bro,
yeah,
if,
that would transcend the list.
if Rhea did that in August, I'm pretty sure there would have been a fucking storyline on it right by now.
Yeah.
Liv Morgan would have used it as something, be like, "Oh, you stole something from me because you twerked."
Oh my god.
Anyway, Cap, what's your number 1?
Yeah, true. So my number 1. We did mention it before, but this is my number 1. It is Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
Never-ending
Story.
story.
Listen, we said it before. This was basically
Avengers
The
Endgame.
Avengers Endgame of professional wrestling. I to this day I still have vivid memories. I was watching it with my girlfriend, and we
Oh,
were
I hope
just
you had vivid memories of it. It was only a fucking year ago. Not even.
not even.
It's like 9 months ago.
Oh
I'm
man, the old
old,
timers
you
is
want me to
kicking in.
say. I'm lucky I remember what I had for breakfast.
Yeah, fair enough.
Gluten-free waffles.
Who are you?
But anyway, but yeah, I was watching it with her, and I just have these vivid memories of just marking out for every single appearance that everybody
Yeah.
made in that match.
Bro,
I
I'm not
remember
gonna lie. Taker's
we
gong
freaked out
hit and I
very
almost
much.
fell out of the chair.
When Taker's gong hit, I was watching it with
I jumped off the couch.
Chris. Yeah.
I jumped off the couch.
Ash's jaw hit the floor.
I was
Yeah.
absolutely-
Oh my god, that's so right.
Yeah.
To be honest,
Also-
to be honest, I still say that Stone Cold would have been a better appearance
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. Also, Rob, shut the fuck up.
What did he say?
He goes, my number 1 wrestling moment this year was the first podcast y'all did. I'm like, bro, shut up. You put us on a fucking 1% volume, you dick.
Put us on 1%.
That's the best it's gonna get with Rob. Trust me. It's a compliment.
All right. Thanks for that, Rob. Yeah, kiss ass.
God, I know what Chris's number one is, and it's so
did
fucking
that.
stupid. I love it.
It's him getting to do the guest spot today. That's his number
Anyway,
one.
yeah, no, it was.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, no, the ending of the Cody Rhodes story, the ending of probably what I would say is one of the best stories to be told in WWE. It was a
It's a
continuation.
long time.
Mm-hmm.
It was beautiful. It was cinematic. What can I say, man? I'm a sucker for those stories where eventually you know the good guy is gonna win, and it was just done so it was done so well, man. It was just done so perfectly.
You're making me want to like go watch Avengers now.
Down.
Yeah. And we got a meme out of it.
Oh, we could just play Marvel Rivals.
Yeah.
Ooh.
My number one wrestling moment: Marvel Rivals.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, that's
It's a great game, Cap. Get it. I want to show you me going.
It's
ape as a
fucking
whole.
free.
It's free.
All right. Anyway,
Mother crusher.
Anyway, Chris, you are usually I would have completely ignored you and made you go before me, but I decided to be a good host this time.
I appreciate it. Listen,
Take us home, Chris.
It saved
It's-
hopefully the
it-
best for last. What is your number one moment of 2020?
now I want to preface
God.
this with I wouldn't say it's rare that we get a good heel turn in WWE. Well, I wouldn't say that it's but it is a rare occurrence when you get a heel that continuously turns heel again while being heel. It's Dominic Mysterio turning heel while being heel. That's the best moment of the year, fucking hands down. You're not topping
Wrestling
Dominic
Pete
Mysterio.
Davidson.
You're not topping Dominic Mysterio turning heel while being a heel already. You're not.
Yeah,
beating
you know
it.
what? You know,
Moment of this-
I'll give you that because it takes a lot of skill to not only be the most hated fucking person from the crowd.
by
Right,
a country
The
mile.
crowd hates you more than anyone that's actively wrestling, and then you manage to fucking one up yourself.
Exactly. It was the best moment in wrestling this entire
Yeah.
year.
How do you make people hate you more than after betraying Rey Mysterio? Oh, I don't know. How about them cucking
You cheated on Rhea Ripley.
Like you're not topping that. It was the best moment of this year. I legitimately think that it is hard to do a heel turn. It's harder to do a heel turn when you're already a fucking heel.
Okay, it's just he told me, and I just couldn't. That was the word. I luckily I wasn't clocked in at work, but I just could not fucking take it when he mentioned that.
You know what? You know what? I understand where he's coming from because it is very difficult to be a heel. To go from being a heel to like a mega heel.
Yeah.
The super heel.
it's a
Like,
talent. It's
it
a
really
talent.
is. It's impressive. Because I remember watching that and being like, oh my God, he really just like did that.
Yeah.
Like he really got more heat somehow. Like it was unbelievable to watch live.
Like if
Not only that,
if
like,
crowd
I don't think you're ever going to be able to turn this guy face ever
No.
again.
No
way.
No fucking way.
It
The
is
fucking
never-
the Pope could literally come in and baptize this man. And I think that would even get more heat.
I watched this man get heat over a chicken tender thrown at him mid performance. Like literally, I did. It's incredible that he's garnered and held so much heat for so long.
And like the craziest thing is like I think if you could power, like if you could get like electricity and power from the crowd, you could fucking light Manhattan for a week with the fucking heat this dude generates from the crowd.
Oh, absolutely! It's incredible.
Absolutely.
Knowing,
Yeah, you're right. He could get heat from saving a cat from a tree. Like it's just
He does.
Like,
develop
it's
a cure for
incredible.
cancer, and he would still be a heel.
Yeah.
Like you can't. Seriously, like it's fucking impressive. You can't top that, man.
Yeah, because the funniest thing is, it's like right, like because he has not been over as a face ever. Ever.
Not once.
Because he came in when he was a babyface with Rey Mysterio, people gave him shit because, oh, he's the Nepo baby.
A
He's,
Nepo baby.
He's the Nepo hire. He's only there because of his last name and blah, 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 blah. Like, he didn't put in the fucking work. So then he betrays his father, does the thing that everyone's been saying Dominic Mysterio needs to do. He needs to turn heel and betray his father. Turn on his dad, join the Judgment Day. So he does that, and the crowd hates him more.
It's impressive.
And the crowd hates him more because he's kayfabe boinking Rhea Ripley.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's why the crowd mostly hates him. Because they're jealous that they couldn't, get
That they're not
fucking
getting
choked
paid.
out by Rhea Ripley's
And then
thighs.
Top that with the fact that, yes, everybody in the world wants Rhea Ripley, and this guy goes and cheats on her.
Cheats.
Yeah.
With Liv Morgan.
Right.
And it's like, what the fuck? And it's not only that he cheated on her, but it's like he gaslit her into
Into thinking
thinking
that he
that
didn't do
like,
it.
oh, we're good, don't worry about it. I'm still with you.
This
And he's
guy
like,
goes
Yeah,
out.
psych.
It's not only
She gives me
it's not
chicken
only that.
tendies and lets me play video games.
It's not only that. It's not only that. It's also the fact that you went from everybody's dream woman, and then you cheated on her with everybody's second dream woman,
Right.
and then
Like, literally,
and then
you can't make this shit up. And I mean,
Yeah,
But that's what I'm saying. It's like
It's
you get,
incredible.
because it's like you look at it. It's like, okay, he has big titty goth girlfriend,
Now
right?
he's
And everyone
going
hates
for
him
the
for it.
big
And now
cheerleader.
he's got the hot blonde chick.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck happened?
It's incredible that they made this shit up because you can't.
Right?
You
And
can't
it's
make
like,
this up.
and it's like, and then he almost got fucking Tiffany Stratton.
I know. It's Dominic Mysterio's performance, but specifically him turning heel while being heel. It's the best moment of the year.
Yeah.
I swear to God.
And then if he, I will be,
WrestleMania.
you know what? And honestly, it will be my all-time favorite moment if he manages to do it a third time.
Oh my god! If he does, I'm going to punch out my TV.
Like,
I will not be able to hold that
This man's
emotion.
going to literally become the most hated man.
at this point,
wrestling ever.
I think at this point, if he did it a third time and like cucked Liv Morgan with like fucking Tiffany Stratton or something, I think that would be
She's the only one.
that
I
would be
think.
so fucking funny.
He would,
It would-
I genuinely believe he would become the most hated man in professional wrestling.
not even in professional wrestling. I think he would be the most hated man in period.
Yeah,
He's just the most hated man.
that is my number one moment.
It's
That is
absolutely
legit.
The only way I could ever see, I know audio's off, I have to plug in charge again,
No,
sorry.
you're good.
The only way I can see Dom getting something resembling a redemption is if they give him like a Baron Corbin style,
The sympathy, yeah.
it's not,
Honestly, I think even if Liv turns on
never
him
gonna happen.
and like cucks him, like I think the only way I could they would have to pull some massive bullshit to
Yeah.
get him as a sympathetic babyface. Like they would have to have like Liv Morgan cuck him for Rhea Ripley,
Yeah.
while also having like Rey Mysterio forgive him and like bring him back into the family, and Eddie Guerrero would have to fucking come back to life
Descend from the heavens
and
himself.
descend from heaven on a chariot of clouds
I forgive you all.
to say,
Jesus has to be there as well.
I don't think you can top Dom being just Dom for this entire year.
And I'm sure, and you know what the sad part is? And that the sad part is, after all that, he'd probably still get booed.
Yeah, probably.
Very true.
So there you go. There's my number one. It's just
Yeah,
Dominic Mysterio.
It's a good number one.
Yeah, no, like Ash said, if Dom manages to turn babyface, that'll be the top moment in wrestling because that's just unbelievable.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah, it is. And I love him. I love him so much for being the heel that he is.
Absolutely.
The dude knows how to just. He doesn't even need to try.
No,
He just exists and he
got a
gains
kick
heat.
thrown at him in mid match, and they grab the mic. and then said this chicken tender sucks, and then got like craziest amount of boos that I'd ever heard from a crowd.
Bro, it's the fact that like he's even said on multiple times in interviews, he goes, half the time I can't even hear myself. When he's on the mic, he can't hear what he's saying.
I know, it's
because he can't hear himself over the fucking crowd.
It's incredible, man. It's truly incredible.
That's the only word for it is incredible.
The dude is a heat magnet. It's nuts.
Absolutely. Yeah. All right. So there you have it, folks. Those are our top 5 moments of professional wrestling in 2024. Before we get to the signing off here, I just want to quickly say this because this is going to be our last episode of the year. I want to thank everybody who works on the show. I want to thank Dom. I want to thank Scott. Dom for basically running everything technological for the show, runs the Twitch and everything. He's done a phenomenal job. We would not have a show without Dom.
Yeah, motherfuckers, you can't do shit without me.
And he's humble AF about it. Scott, Scott, I want to thank you for finding all of the stories you found this year. You've had some fun and interesting conversations for us this year. Francis, you
exist.
Actually done a phenomenal job on the Instagram things, on the social media side of things. And Chris, we loved having you on the show tonight. I want to thank everybody who watches the show. I want to thank everybody who has subscribed to the YouTube channel, who has subscribed to the Twitch channel, follows us on Instagram, TikTok, enjoys almost every week me and my dumbass friends coming on to Twitch and just talking about something we've all loved since we were children. Personally, for me, this has been something that I've really always wanted to do. I've always wanted just to. Professional wrestling has meant a lot to me. It meant a lot to my life. I met my best friend through it. I met, it could be argued that I met my girlfriend through professional wrestling. And I just want to thank everybody who's been watching the show, following the pages, and enjoying everything that we've done this year. I want to thank all of you guys for it. I love y'all. Thank you for everything, and thank you for an amazing year. And we're gonna have a lot more fun come 2025.
And thank you guys for having me on the show. This was a fucking blast.
Absolutely. Chris, if you want to plug your socials real quick,
Yeah, it's citizens CITIZENS _ZER0 everywhere. Instagram, TikTok, Twitch. I don't use Twitter.
Go follow this guy. Seriously, go follow him. And
his streams are a lot more chill than ours.
Yeah,
a lot of like voice acting in cozy games, and then the occasional screaming at Marvel Rivals on my show.
Yeah, man. But,
that's usually when we show up.
Yeah.
While you are doing that, be sure to follow us here on Twitch as well. Follow us on YouTube for the daily VODs that usually come up the day after we stream. Be sure to follow us on Instagram and TikTok as well. As I've said before, and I'll keep saying it, we are getting close to the 1-year anniversary of the push.
Can you believe it? We haven't killed each other yet.
It's a miracle.
It's because we're not in the same room.
Yeah.
That might be a big reason for it. That because we're not in the same room with each other. But anyway, thank you all for 2024. Thank you for an amazing year for us doing this. It was a great first year. We got a lot more fun stuff coming in 2025.
And that's true.
So for all of us here at The Push, my name is Cap.
I'm Dom.
Scott Dash.
I'm Francis.
And I'm here today.
Yes, you are, buddy.
Happy New Year, everybody. Ring that bell for me, Dom.
Oh, fuck. I didn't have the button ready.
I did want to.